Breaking right now, Meghan Markle couldn't find a chief executive for her botched new lifestyle business, American Riviera Orchard. Who would want to work with the person who the Hollywood Reporter just described as a dictator?
Welcome back to the channel, your go-to source for raw truth, no fluff. Today we're diving into the absolute chaos surrounding Meghan Markle's latest business move. After a brutal industry backlash, she's now had to appoint herself CEO of her own lifestyle brand.
In high heels. So guess who's going to be the chief executive of American Riviera Orchard? Meghan Markle herself. This is going to go so wrong, Angela Levin. What do we know?
Well, it's just extraordinary, actually. I mean, there's been a lot of toing and froing for people sort of saying, well, she can't use the title Africa Riviera Orchard. You can't use that because that's a place very near where they live, and you can't own an area. You have to change it. And I don't know whether she's put her foot down and said, I'm not going to, or why she hasn't done that and made things easier. But the interesting thing is that she has supposed to show them all the monies and what's going to happen and all that sort of stuff. But she's asked now for an extra 3 months to get things ready. I don't know how she'll do it because it's really a financial thing. But anyway, that's what she's asked for, which is strange, because that will take her into December, January, February, March. And there have been things saying that she's going to start right at the beginning of the new year, 2025. Now, she can't do that unless they give her the okay. And they also yet haven't given the okay that everything that she's going to use is clean enough and acceptable. And I don't know, think it'd get something for her to put her hair in, because her hair's often dangling down. It's fine if you want to talk to your friends, but you can't do that on a wide scale. So she's going to take over. But the thing is, she's proven, this is why she doesn't understand herself, she's proven that she's not very good at small things, that she sees, maybe gets good ideas and wants to do them all herself, and she doesn't like the way anybody else does it. Okay, but when it comes to the nitty-gritty and little things and organizing things, I don't think she's very good at. And so she will need somebody. I don't know also how she's going to do all the other things that she wants to do, and look after children and keep fit and do everything else without actually having somebody there to help. So it looks like a big mess, but I think they try and do that. When everything's down, they come back with something amazingly upbeat. And I think they do that. And then they realize that, okay, that's been going for a few weeks. Let's get rid of that one, come up with something else. And these things don't happen.
And let's be honest, it's not a great look. Let's unpack how we got here, and what it really means for her brand, her image, and her future. Meghan recently launched her new lifestyle brand, reportedly focused on home goods, jams, and all things curated luxury.
Well, the thing is, she doesn't have the experience to be a chief executive.
No.
I mean, it's already tanking.
She does think she can do everything, but of course
she thinks that.
Yes, so it'll be a mess.
Yeah. Well, look, just because it's funny, Angela, can I read you the story by Richard Eden in the Mail? I have to say it's been written nicely, because it says, having announced her new cooking and lifestyle business, American Riviera Orchard, with great fanfare back in March, the Duchess of Sussex began a search for a suitable chief executive officer. A source told him at the time, Meghan is interviewing candidates for the CEO role at the moment. Despite having interviewed several candidates for the position, Prince Harry's wife was unable to find anyone who matches her expectations. Now insiders say she has found the perfect candidate herself. A source in the know told the New York Post she is the CEO of American Riviera Orchard. But a Californian-based source told Richard Eden the initial CEO search has not panned out so far. And this is the problem she's got now, Angela. People don't want to risk their career after seeing the way that they burn through stuff. I mean, you've done great reporting on this, Angela, in terms of tracking the numbers of people who have left. But recently, you revealed it was actually closer to 45 people when you take into account all of the assistance.
All the levels, yes.
Yeah, which is just astonishing.
Yes. Well, actually, if you said this the thing is, Hollywood loved her when she arrived, but now this woman called Paula Frolish, an entertainment correspondent and editor of the US cable channel News Nation, has explained this is what happens when you haven't actually made money. You fall down the totem pole of importance. People in LA roll their eyes at them. So people don't want to know about them anymore because they can see if you start in March and you say, I've got this wonderful, wonderful jams I'm sending to my closest friends, and you'll all have to wait. And it's now December and nothing's happened. You think, well, they're incapable of doing anything. So I can't see how you can then bring it back. And I think because in America, they're sharp and they're not interested in things going wrong and being spread over a whole year, they don't want to know. So it's going to be doubly hard to do it. And
yeah, because
why
they're
would
now
people
saying, Angela,
want it
it's
now?
all going to happen early next year. So the Netflix show, which is filmed, is going to be released early next year at the same time as the launch of American Riviera Orchard. But the thing is, initially we were told that the show was going to be broadcast this month.
Yes, well, that's because they haven't had the right patent office coming back to them with the right suggestions. They weren't ready. The patent office said no first time, and then they had to change it, but they obviously hadn't been able to change it.
No.
And you can't do that. I think they're not wise about money and actually fitting into the rules. And you can't actually do these things without doing that.
But instead of applause, she was met with mockery, criticism, and skepticism. From branding experts calling it unoriginal to media outlets slamming it as a copycat of Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop and Flamingo estate, the brand rollout has been anything but smooth.
Angela, we revealed at first here on Outspoken, but the mainstream media have caught up late, as they often do, to the fact that the royal family have not don't want Harry and Meghan at Christmas this year. But you're saying this is no surprise and Harry and Meghan shouldn't have expected an invitation.
No, I mean, it's nonsense. I can't understand how people are going, oh, wow, gosh, this is terrible. Actually, they went to one Christmas just after they were together. And since 2018, they haven't gone to one. They've been invited each year to say, come, the door's open, please come. And they've always turned it down. So this year, they haven't asked them because they will only turn it down. Meghan keeps saying she hates the UK, she doesn't want to come. So Harry's not going to come for Christmas on his own without his children. I can't believe that. And so it's a ridiculous thing to be. I think it's one of those things which they can grab and then complain how badly treated they've been. In fact, that's exactly what they have done, and grumble about it. But if you have been so rude about your family, despite the fact that they're ill, do you want to come so that you find out a bit more about the cancer, both from that the king has and also Princess has, and you want to sell that might be quite good. It's not going to happen. They don't want it, and they can't trust him at all, actually, at going back and saying something or altering a conversation that they've made. And it won't work because Harry's still determined that he wants an apology for Meghan, that he wants to make an amount of money that he's now he's no longer with the royal family, as if it's a business deal, and has been sent off home. And I think I can't understand why everybody's shock horror. Can't understand it.
Do you know what
They've
I
got
do?
to be quiet. They've got to have a calm Christmas. Obviously, it won't be that calm with children, but it's got to be calm because there's still a lot of illness around, and you can't actually make it unhappy, and you can't have a big argument. And I think Harry's still full of argument.
Yeah,
So,
big time. No, he is. He completely is. Now, Angela, one thing that the mainstream media should be covering, but for some reason, aside from the Mail on Sunday and Newswork, who have done great work on this, it's pretty much been ignored, is this African parks scandal, which just gets worse by the day for Prince Harry, with shocking new reports, absolutely shocking, horrifying new reports that a pregnant woman was actually trampled on and lost her unborn baby. This adds to the horrifying reports of women being raped with babies in their hands. And Angela, we've heard nothing from Harry the humanitarian on this. Complete radio silence.
And now, in a surprise twist, Meghan has officially made herself CEO. Meghan Markle naming herself CEO might be meant to show leadership, but for many, it shows just how out of touch this entire project has become.
yes, it's very interesting actually, because he's always loved Africa, and he himself, he went to that area to help them move 500 elephants into a better place. Now, you imagine what sort of work that is. You can't pick up any of them, or, complicated indeed.
No, it's hard. 500 elephants, yes.
Yeah, and he really enjoyed that. They were very grateful to him. So he became he joined the team, and was supposed to be very involved. They needed him to be very helpful. He became president first, and then promoted onto a board member. And he was supposed to investigate the allegations of rape and torture. But I don't know. When he went to America just a while ago in his travels, he had a meeting and he spoke to various people, but no journalists were allowed in, and nobody, no photographers. So he doesn't know. I don't know what happened there.
He hasn't been questioned on this. And the thing is, Angela, he has let this get out of control.
Yes.
And again, this is another problem. And he was warned about this pre-Megxit. He doesn't have the support of sensible, wise heads around him anymore who would not allow a situation like this to happen.
Yes. Well, he sort of got rid of all the people who could help him because he wants to do it himself. And this is very difficult. But the story of a pregnant woman being trampled on and then lost her unborn baby is beyond anything you can imagine. Just really terrible, and that makes it very urgent that something is done about that. I thought if he wanted to leave America, he could go and live there in Africa because he does love it. And he can spend a few years there. He'd be very useful because he's good with animals and he can...
Yeah, and that was an option.
This isn't just a PR fail. It's a reflection of a brand built on buzz, not substance. If the goal was to reclaim relevance, it may have backfired. Again, let us know in the comments, is Meghan being unfairly targeted?
That was an option. I remember reporting on it at the time. Simon Case, who was the cabinet secretary, was really involved. He had previously been the advisor to Prince William. That was an option on the table, but I just do not think Meghan had any interest in living in Africa, despite what she now claims about being part Nigerian, etc., etc. She wanted California or nothing. And actually, where they could have had the half in, half out thing that they really wanted was if they did go and live in Africa. But I guess that's history. Maybe Harry will still end up there one day. It is possible, but he's got to get a handle of this African parks scandal.
He's obviously not the only person there, but what he's got to do, because he's got the sort of power, because he is royal, that he should actually get
he can
going.
bang heads together, right?
Yes, that's right.
Or if it can't be resolved, Angela, sometimes you actually have to have the bravery to walk away from something too. So he has choices, but just doing nothing and saying nothing and hope this goes away and hiding behind an official investigation when he claims to be some big humanitarian, it's not going to work, I'm afraid.
Yes, I know that there was a couple of people who said he should drop it. He shouldn't actually stay with it anymore. But this was before he went to America. But he did go, so he's still interested. I think he's got loads and loads and loads of things, but he's not actually doing them thoroughly. And this needs to be done very thoroughly. You can't have women being raped and losing babies. I mean, that's just not possible, just not.
No, not at all, at all.
Or is this self-made CEO move the final red flag? Hit that like button if you're done with celebrity vanity projects pretending to be purpose-driven. And of course, subscribe now for real talk on royals, fame, and the truth behind the headlines. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your standards high.